guys, it's Gamer Ahmer here. So today I'm going to go ahead and show off some recent items that I've added to my collection. Now most of these are either Nintendo related, Xbox related, or collectibles. So let's go ahead and see what I got. Alright, so first up we have this Friday the 13th collectible. Now this is actually a Jason mask, and this is a prop replica from NECA. So if we just go ahead and open this up, you'll notice right here we have this mask replica here. And it's actually pretty neat looking. It's a pretty good quality. It's pretty sturdy. And I actually picked this up around Halloween to add it to my collection, since I was doing those 13 nights of Halloween and playing some of those classic horror games. I had to add this to my collection. So if we just go ahead and put that on, you'll notice that it fits pretty well. It's pretty comfortable. And I can go ahead and actually display it in my collection. Maybe create a little horror section where I can put some movies and some games that I already have in my collection. Maybe display some props that I've recently added. And now I can have this. Next up we have this wooden box display right here. And this actually fits cartridge games, some of the older Atari games. So I actually grabbed this for free from one of my local video game stores. I purchased a bunch of these other items here, and this was thrown in for free. And then next up, I was actually given these headphones from a family member. And these were actually free, so I didn't have to pay anything for them. And when I looked at these a little bit closer, I noticed a symbol right here, and this is actually the Saints Row 3 symbol. So when I did a little bit of research, I noticed that these headphones were actually included in the collector's edition for the Xbox. So I was actually pretty excited to add these to my collection. And I was really excited when I found out that they were part of a collector's edition. So now I have these to go ahead and display in my collection as well. And then next up we have some regular Xbox games. We have this Sea-Blade. So right here it says search, rescue, and destroy in the air and under the sea. So this looks pretty neat. And then of course we have this Xbox exclusive. We have Toe Jam and Earl 3, Mission to Earth. So these were some pretty classic characters for the Sega systems, and I had to add this exclusive to my collection. And then here's another Xbox exclusive game. We have Blinks, the Time Sweeper. So this has this little cat character on here. It's a little cartoonish, so this looks pretty interesting. It says the fourth dimension is time, and Blinks has it at his command. Pause, slow, fast forward, rewind, and record in more than 35 warp levels to rescue a princess, prevent a time disaster, and save the world. So that has a pretty different spin on things. I've never actually played it. I have seen this character before, so I'll have to go ahead and give this a try. And then here we have another cartoon-esque game. We have Mad Dash Racing, and it has music by Moby, Fatboy Slim, The Crystal Method, and more. So this looks like a pretty interesting racing game, so I'll have to give it a go. And then here's another Xbox exclusive. We have Grabbed by the Ghoulies. So this one looked like a pretty fun game. It's definitely something that I'll have to go ahead and give it a try. Maybe I'll play some more horror games for this system and give some of these new games a go. It says right here, from the makers of Donkey Kong Country and Banjo-Kazooie. So this has to be good, and it's made by Rare. And then right here I added Scalar. Has this kind of like a dragon character on here. Nothing like Spyro, but I figured it looked pretty interesting, so I'll have to go ahead and try this one out. And then of course I couldn't pass up this Xbox exclusive game. This is House of the Dead 3, and it says Light Gun supported. So these games are always classics. They're some of my favorites. I spent hours in the arcades playing these. I have some of the other House of the Dead games. I have them for the Wii, and I had to add this one to my collection, and since it's an Xbox exclusive, I figured I'd try it out. And then right here we have The Suffering. Now I realized that I only had this game without the case, so I had to pick it up complete in box, as I have that standee that you may have seen in my other pickup videos. So I figured I would complete that, and I remember playing this game, and it's definitely a great game. It's a great series. I highly recommend these, and I had to go ahead and add it complete so I can display it properly in my collection. And then on to some Nintendo games. We have this Nintendo Gamecube game. It's Wave Race Blue Storm. Now this Wave Race game is actually a lot of fun on the Gamecube, so I had to pick this one up. And then some Wii games. We have Face Breakers KO Party. Definitely reminds me of some Punch-Out, so this looks like a pretty fun game. And then here we have The Monkey King, and this is The Legend Begins. So this one looked like a pretty interesting game as well, so I figured I'd try it out. And then on to some handhelds. I recently added some of these to my collection. Now these were also given to me for free. And here we have this Game Boy Color, and this is the lime green or kiwi color that you may call it. So now I have this one. And then we have this Nintendo Game Boy Advance SP, and this is a black and color version. And then onto this Nintendo DS, we have this red in color. Now I actually didn't have a DS Lite in my collection, so I'm excited to add this one. And then I have this right here. This is another Game Boy Color. It was actually given to me complete in the box, and this is that atomic purple color. Now this color is the one that I actually grew up playing with when I was younger, so I'm pretty excited that now I have one that goes along with the box. So I'm excited that I can display this properly in my collection. And then on to some cartridge games for these Nintendo Game Boys. So here we have this Pokemon Yellow, which is the Special Pikachu edition. Now I do have one of these in my collection, but the label was actually pretty worn from playing it when I was younger. So I'm excited to add this upgrade to my collection, and I'm excited to see what Pokemon are actually on this and see what the saved game actually looks like. And then we have this Battleship Risk and Clue. And we actually have this Yu-Gi-Oh game. And we have this Monster Jam Maximum Destruction. So this one looks like a pretty fun game. And then on to some more Nintendo games. We have this Knight Rider for the NES system. I was pretty excited to add this one as I didn't have it before, and I got a really good deal on it. And then some Super Nintendo games. We have this God's game. So I saw this one. This is one of the ones that I haven't seen too much at local shops, so I had to pick it up. And then I finally added this good condition Mega Man X to my collection. It's pretty difficult to find some of these games with pretty good labels on them, as people will often snatch these games right up. So I was pretty excited when I saw this with a really good label on it. I had to pick it up and add it to my collection. And then going along with the Super Nintendo games that I recently added, we have this controller right here. Now this is the Super Nintendo Entertainment System wireless controller, and it was made by Konami. So here you just plug this into the system. This is actually the receiver. Then you put some batteries in the back here, and you can play wirelessly without worrying about that cord. Now I haven't actually tested this out, but I'll see if it has any lag to it or if it skips a little bit. We'll see exactly what kind of shape this controller's in and see how well it was made. And then on to some other handhelds right here. This one is the Nintendo 3DS, and I actually didn't get this one for free, but it's definitely in very good shape. It was actually picked up local, so I was super excited to add this one to my collection so that I can go ahead and play some of those Nintendo 3DS games. So along with this, I also picked up The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask 3D. This one is definitely a great game, and I'm really excited that I added this to my collection. And then a pretty cool thing, I also ordered this controller grip right here. So it just hooks on to the bottom of this 3DS, and you can go ahead and have a little bit more comfort when you're playing the Nintendo 3DS. It fits right in your hands. There's a little bit of a dip in here so that your hand can fit pretty comfortably when you're playing this system. And it even has this little stand here, so you can go ahead and sit it upright on a table or wherever you're playing at. So it just makes it a little bit more comfortable. Now this was actually pretty cheap, so I'm sure that you could find these online like I did, and it definitely helps with the gameplay. And then onto this collectible right here, we have this Midway Classic Arcade Joust. This is the collectible snow globe. Now you're thinking, why would anyone want a snow globe? Well, why not? This right here is definitely a pretty sweet game, and I had to add this to my collection as it's actually one of those limited edition snow globes. They only made so many of them. So if we go ahead and open this up, you'll see that it's actually pretty well packed from GameStop. And right here you see the characters from the game, and it says Midway Classic Arcade Joust. Has this little carved platform on here, and then on the bottom it says Midway Classic Arcade Joust Collector's Edition, and this is number 59 out of 3,000. So there were only 3,000 of these made, and this is pretty sweet that I have number 59. So this is pretty neat. I'll probably keep it boxed up and have it displayed in my collection at some point. And I'm pretty excited that I found this one local, and it was actually on clearance at GameStop. So I got it over half off. And right here it even comes with this little collector's edition, and it's actually hand numbered, so it also repeats it on here out of 3,000. So it says press 1 for 1-player game or 2 for 2-player game, extra mount every 20,000 points. So this is pretty sweet. I'll definitely have to get this little bit framed and displayed properly with this. So this is pretty neat to have. I would check your local GameStops and see if they have them in stock. And then on to another Nintendo pickup. Now actually I got this from one of my Facebook groups that I follow. One of my buddies actually posted this for sale and I had to jump on it because if you guys aren't familiar with it, this is the special Purple Rain controller from the Fox Data collection. Now back in the day, this company actually customized, licensed Nintendo controllers, and I have the other two in this series in my collection, so this makes the third one out of 4. Now I'm hoping that one day I can complete the set since I already have the full Chrome series set of controllers and I have 3 of the 4 of this set. So I'm hoping I can find that last one so I can complete the entire set and display them properly in my collection. On to the last pickups that I added. So I was able to get these displays for free. Here we have Shadow of the Tomb Raider, and it has Lara Croft on here, and this was actually displayed in GameStop. And then along with that same one, we have this very large display right here, and when we open it up, this was also displayed in GameStop. You'll notice that there are some holes on the top corners up here. It has Lara Croft and it says Shadow of the Tomb Raider. It has pre-order now to receive an exclusive flashlight only at GameStop, and it has it for the PS4 and the Xbox One. And it says Become the Tomb Raider September 14th, 2018. So I was pretty excited to add this to my collection. If you guys remember, I also picked up some other Tomb Raider promo items, so I'll have to add these large displays to that part and properly display all of them in one area. And then last but not least, I picked up this Soul Calibur 6 pre-order now to receive the exclusive Ivy Valentine Fig Pin. So this one was also displayed at GameStop. It's actually flattened out right now, but when you fold it up, it actually creates a box and it just sits right there on the counter or anywhere in the store and helps advertise this game. So I love fighting games. I really enjoy the Soul Calibur series, so I had to add this little display box in my collection. So thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe. Go ahead and check out my other videos and stay tuned for more.